to help us today. Um, Today we want to build on what we learned last month, and I will be anchoring this session to with us. My name is Dayo Adetiloye. So, in case you are meeting me for the first, like you are seeing me presenting for the first time, and so what we want to look at is 7 practical ways to save more and master delay gratification. Okay, so brief about me. About me, I'm a renowned business consultant, international trainer, African leaders business development expert. Doing this for the past 15 years, planning businesses and working in the development consulting sector. The CEO of Dayo Adetile Business Hub and Remote Agri. I've authored 7 books, and the latest one is starting out in life and business. I've consulted as a trainer, facilitator, coach, curriculum developer, master trainer for multinational organization, example, GIZ, BDO, Economic Sense, COPA, after doctorate degree from Unicap University. So that's a brief about me. So the first point I want to mention, following up from what we learned last month, is that set a savings goal for the year. We are now in year 2026. How much do you want to save? Uh, so if how much you want to make is 2 billion, for example, how much of that 2 billion are you going to save? And of course, that savings will build up and now turn into an investment. Now, you need to automate that savings. So I learned about savings automation from 110 here, where Dr. Habib taught us how to automate your savings. So you can order your bank that every month, remove so amount and put it into so account. So as you receive your salary that the doctor is removing, as you receive any, so at the end of the month, moves. Now there are mobile applications now that also helps us. So one of the things I use is Piggyvest. I save every week. So by Friday, go to my account and move also amount to my Piggyvest account. So that automation. So if there is money there, it will happen. If there is no money there, it will move for another Friday. And of course, if you want to be deliberate, you can now, maybe on Saturday, you can now say, I must move you. Maybe another transaction has happened, money is now in the account. So I do that every week. And I deliberately also increase it. Maybe after 3 months, I can increase it. Let's say I'm saving 100,000 every month, every week before. I can say, okay, I'm putting it as 120. After a while, I can say I'm putting it as 150. So you can start with 1,000. After a while, you continue to increase it, and that becomes an automation. So make it an automated system for you. And we have to discipline ourselves. We've talked about paying ourselves first. So we need to make it automated. The second one I want to, so the second point is pay yourself first and save between 10 to 40% of your net income. Now, if you are just starting, 5%, 10% might just be it. But if you are serious about saving, You can't stay at the level of 10%. Especially there are some people you are new to this, so you know that you have to do more. You know that you are not there yet, so you can't afford to not be saving aggressively. So I remember that time Dr. Abi was telling us that he doesn't do 10%. So the fact that we are pretending to do 10% does not mean that's level we are playing. So 40% save, because when you say somebody is a millionaire, it's because the person has either cash or resources or net worth that worth that amount of money. So if that money is not put together, stored, or converted into something that can last, for example, you buy a land, you know that you can see your land, you can see your money. It's just that it's in form of a land and all that. So save and store in mutual funds. How many of us will have the big mutual funds now? You have it. So if you don't have it, please go and register and have your account. You know, Dr. Abi introduced it to us. He said, when you open it like this, you sleep and you wake up in the morning and your money has increased. You know that feeling that something is working for you, and you must look at your savings as something serious. It's like, that was what he taught us. It's like your second business. So as you put the money together, the money begins to increase, especially when you put it in places like this. And imagine you have 2 billion in your mutual funds. How much will be coming to you every month? I think the thing is now 15 point something something now. Do that calculation. Divide by 12, because what is coming every day is a division of all those things, accumulation. If you do that, if you have 2 billion cash in mutual funds now, you might not necessarily do too much before you see money. Money just coming to you like that. So that's the way you should see what is accumulating. And also, like I mentioned about the piggy vest as well. Okay. So the third one, save for the long term and let your money roll over. This is very important. Your money roll over, let your savings turn to investment, and let your third generation of your returns fund your luxury. You will see a lot of billionaires, they just bought, I don't know the type of the car, just bought for all his girls. He had 3 girls and just woke up one money and bought them on $10, right? And just bought them like Ferrari. Why? That money is third generation of the capital. Now, you now want to go and copy that. And your own is still in first generation, still trying to turn it around. So what we are saying is that luxury is good, but let it be proceed of the proceed of the proceed of the money that you have saved and used for different businesses and ventures. Number four, delay gratification. Let somebody says delay gratification. Now, what does it mean? Delay gratification is the ability to resist an immediate reward in order to gain a greater sacrifices for long-term gain. You know, when I was in university days, one of the things I did was to invest in books. I have so much for 7 years because of books that can buy a car at that level. But I said to myself that in Mr. Biggs used to be very popular like that. Big boys, they go to those places, and so instead of spending my money in those things, let me invest. Let me invest in myself. by learning, by practicing what I'm learning, entrepreneurship. The fact that you have the money to buy it does not mean you should buy it now. There are questions you should ask yourself. So there is this strategy: create a pause rule for non-essential. When you want to buy something that's not urgent, pause for 24 to 72 hours. Most impulses desires fade when given time. Most impulses desires fade when given time. Ask yourself, will this thing matter to me next month? There are so many things they will bring to us, like HOLB, different form of contribution, so many things that will come. You want to ask yourself, will this thing matter to me or them? There are things that when you finish doing them, you just ask yourself, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. It's if you don't do it, it will not kill you, it will not, So let's ensure that application doesn't always means a hard no. It can be a not now. Instead of I can't afford it, say things like I'm choosing something more important right now. That mindset builds discipline, and you are choosing what is more important right now. And there are things that are more important. We should prioritize that and focus on that. Now, the next strategy: reduce lifestyle inflation. As income increases, avoid immediate increasing expenses. There is a law like that. When your income increase, your expenditure will increase. That's when you see that your car. It's just 3 years old. You say that your car. It doesn't befit the new status when you are not the president. As the new president, they will organize everything. In fact, your clothing, you are government property. They will take care of you. But you see, the delaying gratification means that all those things they have their own time. And upgrading, as if the old version still works. Delay upgrades for 3 to 6 months. Save the difference instead. What grows in the gap between income and lifestyle? There are people earning 2 million today, and before the end of the month, they're already calling you. Can you loan me 500,000? And you are wondering, you are earning 2 million. So what are you doing with your money? And it's not that they are saving it, it's not that they are investing it, it's just going out. They can't even track. And at the end of the day, you that you are doing your business, you are tracking everything, they are coming to you. It's not just about increasing income, it's about deliberately planning, which we have done at the early part of this year and late last year. Planning in such a way that you know the percentage that is going for savings, the percentage that is going for feeding, and every other cost that comes in. So, example in your business is say 3 months. Now, if you don't deliberately track your expenditure and track your income and track your savings, you will discover that at the end of the month, as the money is coming in, it's also going out. The thing will look big on the outside, but on the inside, you will see that I don't have savings, I don't have, but it's the whole thing, activity will just be going. Money will be coming in, and so you have to sit down and track it. In the slide that Dr. Yusuf showed us last month, there is a chart there. 25% should go into operations. Now, if you don't follow it that way and you let all your money enter into operation, you will not have money to save. To say that so amount, maybe so percent, it got to a time in my business that I have to make a rule to say Every income, so percentage goes straight to savings. Whether the money will now be enough to take care of the activity or not, this percentage goes. Because if you wait till everything now balance, you will just discover that no money again. There is always expenditure. The expenditure can keep piling. But once you know that this is the only resources available to do this, your resourcefulness will start coming in and things like that. So the last one, visualize the reward. Delayed gratification works best when the future feels real and not abstract. So do this, write down your future goals. So we are, if you are new to 110 Academy, one of the things we are encouraging you to do is to set goals for the year. So we've had teachings on them. So you can request for the slide that we use for that teaching when you join the goal. We'll send it to you. So visualize the peace, the freedom, the stability, the feeling. You know, we say feeling is the secret. Be feeling those monies in your my mutual account grows and all that. So that visualization, that feeling is very important. Revisit it when tempted to overspend. So when somebody is bringing shiny objects to that your money that you have saved, eh? Don't be tempted. There are people that they've saved money. Now, the way they are saving it is to take the money and put it in something they don't know anything about. And at the end of the day, they are back to scare zero. Don't do that. Don't be tempted. Don't let any temptation comes to unsave your money. They can tell you the percentage you are getting in that where you are saving your money is too small. There's something. It will give you 50%. You too, you will be like, and you don't understand what they are doing. You don't understand the economics. You don't, they just promise, it's just that. You don't just carry all your money and take it to where it will disappear because people have delayed gratification and it's just foolishness that you spend your money on yourself than go and lose it in an investment that you know nothing about. And there are a lot of them. You know, in the past, we've had of a lot. Wonder Bank in those days take all their hard-earned money and disappeared. And we have experts here. There are some money you should not spend alone. There are some money you should not invest alone. Seek advice. Okay, I have this 50 million. I'm trying to go into property business. Advise me. You understand now? Because with those kind of advice, they can begin to say, okay, I don't know much about property, but I know someone that can help you. Go and meet this person. And with that, even if you will lose money, it might just be maybe 5%. You understand now? Than just doing it on your own and the whole money now disappears. So I'm rounding up now. It's just to give us a teaser for today's presentation. So my name remains Dayo Adesiboye. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Our amazing governor. That is a worthy. You know, this is month of Valentine month. What better gift can our governor give us than this amazing presentation? A round of applause for him. Stand up and clap for our governor. A round of applause. So before we, no, don't sit down yet. Too. If you have your mutual fund, I have a gift for people that don't have mutual fund account. So because from our governor, yes, our amazing governor, our lovely, he's a loving one. You want to know if you have mutual fund account and they don't know whatever is there, we're not asking for it. Don't be afraid. Raise up your hand and sit down. If you have, see, Stanbic didn't pay us money to advertise. We're going to put something on the where you can get the online because time is going. What I say? We have an amazing. We want you to join us in that Billionaire Club. It's the place you have to be. And the Almighty God knows you can be there. That's why He brought you to this group. Don't doubt your God. Don't doubt your God. Because the people that are there now, the billionaires of now, sometimes ago they didn't have a song I love. I will have brought, but because of our time. Where you are going, teach you. Where you are going, teach you. Say of better. Thank you very much. You can say. So say of better. Thank you very much. You can say. So Dr. Gbolahan Yusuf, medical director, healthcare innovator, and business, and is dedicated to transforming healthcare in Africa. He holds a medical transforming healthcare in Africa. He holds a medical degree for the University of Ibadan, and College of Hospital, Ibadan. He has a lot of College of Hospital, Ibadan. He has a lot of certification in leadership and management. He has won a global health project management in global health for University of Washington and health financing policy for universal health coverage for WHO. That's World Health Organization. He is presently the chief medical director and CEO of Ceylon Group of Hospitals, where he leads a cutting-edge urban secondary healthcare facility in Lagos, Nigeria. You have to be in Ceylon to see what I'm talking about. His leadership has driven medical center recognition as the most effective business by SME underscore effective business by SME underscore NG. Speaker and business coach. Speaker and business coach. Brain. They will look alike, but the transformation they will look alike, but the transformation He inspire us and to achieve our performance. Dr. Gbolahan Yusuf seamlessly integrates healthcare innovation, leadership, and philanthropy, a lasting impact on individuals and communities alike. Can you please stand up and welcome our amazing, wonderful governor, Dr. Gbolahan Yusuf. Thank you. Please put your phone silently.
Good afternoon, everybody. One of the things we teach here is Kaizen, deliberate continuous improvement. And one of what we'll try to do amongst the organizers and with the president, you can hear me, is to find better ways to structure our seminars. And as for the prize of one, is an excellent fit for that job. And he's done a very good job. So every time we'll get to look at two topics and then we'll go with that. Because one of the beautiful things about this seminar is that we'll talk about something and your ability to focus on that thing that you also focus on. Now, to start this, we're breaking down the life of a billionaire to the smallest units. And that is to look at what a day looks like in the life of a billionaire. Why we go make the decision tonight, and whatever results they get, you expect that they get it. I've had different conversations with different people over time, and I've even had senior people come and tell me that this thing that you and your mentor talk about, that they know people that don't do these things, but they are billionaires. So why are you telling us that we must do these things? Of course, they're older than me. I will not say anything, but I can say something here. And most of the things we talk about are things that statistically would produce the results. For example, when we looked at savings, when we looked at investments, you know there are more investments than the investments we talk about. But if you look at those ones, the success of those investments actually varies. You cannot repeat it. It's not any process any strategy that you cannot repeat is not something is not something worth learning. You understand? If it's something that comes by chance, you don't go out and start teaching people, because time and chance might not happen to some. And then they'll come back and say, Oga, you said this, I tried, it didn't work. You understand? That's why most times we streamline ourselves to those things that time-tested, reproducible principles that we can say that if you tried this, it would work. While preparing for this seminar, I decided to engage AI, and I started to ask some questions. And one of the first questions is, I said, what is the commonest determining factor of daily practice of most billionaires in the world? And it gave me a few, but one of the other things that was common is waking up early, reading, not avoiding distractions. And those are the elements of what we're going to talk about today. So when I saw that, I said 75 to 80% of billionaires. So even if, like my older friends or senior ones told me that not everybody, but statistics shows that 75 to 80% of those we know as billionaires in the world actually practice this. The next question is, why should I tell people, why should I be a billionaire? Why should I tell people to become billionaires? Because sometimes you will say that if I have this amount of hundreds of millions for the rest of my life, I'm probably fine, right? And the reason why we teach this is not because of you. Because if it's about you, how many things would you eat? How many clothes are you going to buy? How many cars can you drive? How many houses can you live in? But it's about living a life of, one, legacy, two, being a blessing to a lot of people. So I did another. This is the seminar. Every other thing you probably have heard them before. But I feel this is very important for a few people in the room or watching online. So I sat down also. Okay, now we say I need just this amount to be fine. Do I actually know how much I need to survive on a monthly basis? Do you actually know that? I sat down and I started to write. You know, everything, fuel, data, school fees, 3 terms, then divided by 12. That would be monthly. Rent, divided it. I did everything, and I was surprised that on a monthly basis, I spend more than I thought I actually need. I actually spend times 3 of what I thought I do spend. Because some of those money comes at different times of the month. What do? When you have December, you are doing obli, you are thinking January is salary. You have said, so this is what I need. Now, someone asked me a question and said that in your business, now that you know this, the drive is I should make enough so that I can save and I should still have this. Do you understand? But should not be, should be, how much will your business need to make if 20 people that are working with you are paid this salary? Or if you go into that business every day, how much will that business be earning? Or if you go into that business every day, how much will that business be earning? A lot. You probably will be very happy. A lot. You probably will be very happy because if you tell them jump, they'll say how high. When you come, the way you probably be worshipped. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? And that should be the driving force. Because if you don't think this way, we should not be we should contented with what we have. We should not be greedy. Do you understand? That is the other side of what I'm talking about. If you think that way, you will struggle to do everything you need to do to become a billionaire. But if you think about the fact that it is not about me, it's about everybody that is connected to me. You know, I've gone beyond everybody that is connected to me. You know, I've gone beyond the people you even that are on your better. Yeah, good. So we're now going to look at, and a billionaire is not about working harder. A billionaire is not about working harder. We've talked about Anthony has talked about that. When we were much younger, it was all about working hard. You understand? When you work hard, success is sure. But we have learned now that it is not about working harder, but about structuring your day smarter. The billionaire and the other man who does not have as much money have the same number of hours. Every one of us here have the same number of hours. A lot of us, I included, at different times have wished that in the beginning, but we have 24 hours. When you talk about, when you were in that seminar, what did he say? Announce this year. Then you're probably not going to announce this year. Then you're probably not going to achieve success in that day. And I said it last month too, that the hours the world wake up is actually the right. I think it's difficult to teach. The only thing might now be woke up. Do you understand? You will rush. You probably woke up. Do you understand? You will rush. You probably, before you settle down, might be 12 noon or 1 p.m. because you probably had to work late. So because you left late, you are anxious throughout the journey to work. If anybody tries to cut you in traffic, there's a way you are going to respond to them. You are going to get to work late. You probably have a line manager who will then tell you, why are you coming a dressing down? Then you still have to. So if you wake up late, you are waking up to an emergency. But if you wake up early, the chances of success for that day is about 80%. It's 80% because it's not just enough to wake up early. When you wake up early, what do you do? And that's going to be the crux of most of what we're talking about today. Billionaires guide their mornings fiercely. In the morning is not the time for email, for scrolling on your phone and checking stuff. Let me tell you, while I was preparing for this, it came to me this way, and it was amazing. You know that most of the time when you go on your phone, you are actually reading content created by somebody else. Now, the person who created that content created it with an intention. Most times, likes, engagements, but they structured the message such a way that you will engage it. You know what you do? You wake up already living in another person's life. Once you wake up, and that's where you go to, you're already living, you wake up breaking news. And there's no day there's no breaking news. Sometimes I love sports and I follow some sports handles. I read some news. I'm like, there's no news. There's nothing newsworthy in this, but the title is so attractive that you go and then read everything. There's no information. But like I said, they know that if the title, they put one of your star player and they put something scandal, anything you want to go, and then you get there and see there is nothing. So one of the things, they don't, if you are responding to skills, someone at that person's life. So one of the things about it is that they guard the early mornings. So my first instruction is we have to guard it with all our might, as if it is treasure, because really it is treasure. Now, it is a sacred time for growth, clarity, and discipline. And those are the things, as I talk, I've tried to highlight those three things. The advantage you get from early morning daily practice is growth, clarity, and then discipline. If you ever decide to do something and you end up doing it, you feel good. You feel more confident. You believe you are the kind of person that can set his or her mind on anything and then follow through. If you do that the first day, you do that the second day, third day, fourth day, you know that there will be different things that will try to prevent you from achieving it, but you get to achieve it. It builds your confidence. You understand? And that confidence is one of the things you need to actually face the rest of the day. Win the money, win the day. So the message I'll give it to you now, that you find at the end of the day, is that you actually don't need 24 hours to succeed. You know, before now, you needed more than 24 hours. But the message now is that you don't need 24 hours to succeed. Once you can win the morning, you have won the day. Understand this, we are painting a picture of a billionaire's life. There are a few things that I would skip. And the reason I'll skip some hours because your current hours is dependent on where we are now. You understand? What is common to us is, every one of us, is what we do in the first few hours of waking up. I'm talking about what is common to us. And if you win that, you win the day. How many of us has read The Morning Miracle? I call this the Savers Protocol, written by Hal Herold. So what time do you wake up in the morning? Different people have talked about different times. 4 a.m. We talk about 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. here. We talk about 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. If you remember, I said something January, that consistency is more important than intensity. I decide that even at 6 a.m., you will snooze the alarm. Do you understand? At 6 a.m., you will snooze. Your natural time, everybody has a natural, based on your reading. If you don't set alarm, there's a time you will wake up. It doesn't matter. Even when you're tired and say, tomorrow, I'm not going anywhere, I'm sleeping in. Once it gets to that time, you wake up. So you already know your own time. I would advise, maybe you bring it forward or backwards by 1 hour. If you're already the 6th person, maybe you can start with 5:30. When you get used to 5:30, you can push it back to 5. You might say, my goal is 4 a.m., but let's start. Because sometimes if you are choosing 4 a.m. and you wake up 5, you won't feel happy. You understand? If your goal was 4 a.m., maybe from 4, you snooze, you did, then eventually you wake up at 5. Your emotions will be negative because you wanted to wake up at 4. But you don't know that there's a success. You succeeded in something. You're naturally a 6 a.m. person, but you woke up 1 hour earlier. Instead of you to be grateful for that, they are not happy because you did not wake up 2 hours earlier. So whatever time it is, I'll mention some times, but know that I'm not saying that strictly must, but that should be your goal. But you can start by little adjustments, and then when you get used to it, you continue to. So when you wake up, Al Herold talks about savers as things that you do. I'm going to get some things from Savers and also the 5 a.m. Club by Robin Sharma. There's a slight, not just a tweaking, but they are still talking about the same thing. You can actually choose the one that you like. And I'll probably give a recommendation that even Dr. Lamsa has talked about, that if you don't do any of these things, if you do this, this, and this, you should still be good. So the first is silence. Now, okay, when we get to that, we'll talk. I don't want to mix them up. So silence is your ability to first gain clarity and calmness. You want to push out all the distractions. You want to it's more like you are one with your spirit. It's like when you are praying, you see it. Like meditation, like prayer. When you are praying, your mind should not be wandering, right? But we know that. So, but if it's deliberate and it's a continuous practice, the first time it might be difficult. I used to find it very difficult when I started. But meditation is also an art. There was a time I paid for like therapy, massage, and all of that. I went to, I think they're Indians, and it was a complete package. So they would do massage, then you go to a room for meditation. And then I sat down, the guy sat down, and then he told me different breathing, focus on your breathing, even asked me to play my ears, do different things. And at the end of the day, he just said, just let the mind. And everywhere was like white. I first told myself, open your eyes, are you sure they've not cried? Because these things there. But one of the things he said, and I've heard Dr. Lamito say it, and it's important when the thoughts come, when you're trying to calm your mind. And that's helped me. Most times I'm trying to push it back. Because the thought is come. He said, no, you allow it to come. It's like you're playing with the thoughts. You look at it, and then you allow it to go. That thing works like magic. Don't resist it. Don't try and push it. Share it is thought about, I forgot to put something or to do something yesterday. Allow it to come. Look at it. By the time you look at it, there's really nothing so important about it, and allow it to go. Another one is coming. After a while, you realize that there's no thought coming, then you're calm. It's important because at that point, we want your spirit to be and your mind to be like in the purest form, because you're about to start to make some declarations. And it's important that in the mind that is clear will be like the fertile soil that will take it, because Savers protocol is a programming protocol. And we have talked about the fact that the brain is plastic such that it can be rewired. And that's what you want to do. Protocol is like a mind transformation process. And then after that, you then move on to affirmations. Because now that you are calm, now that everything is clear, you now want to declare who you are. Do you understand? You want to start to say who you are. You want to tell yourself. Do you understand? By those affirmations, you want to tell yourself what you are worth. You want to tell yourself those things that, and the way we have taught you, this is not a seminar for affirmations, but you want to look at, what's the subconscious, which you are listening to me. But the things you are understanding from what I'm saying is dropping into the conscious. Even the decision, you understand? I'm a money magnet. Abundance flows freely through me. You understand? I am healthy, wealthy, and alive. I have to say, so there I am. Sometimes you can go and Google I am affirmations. I am. When Moses asked God that if I get to Pharaoh, what should I say sent me? He said, I am. Do you understand? I am present. So you go into affirmations. We've also added gratitude here. Affirmations are like your goals, but you are saying it as if it is here now. The reason I started one of the advantages of doing affirmations and gratitude are things you are grateful for now. Gratitude keeps you grounded in the now. Affirmation is goals, it pulls you to the future. So you are living in two realities. The future that you are hoping to get to, but you're not discounting where you are. But a gratitude helps you to program the way you look at where you are. Because you can look at where you are and it will be a negative you want to go. But if you are grateful for where you are, it's a positive way of remaining grounded here. And then you can still say you're happy about, you can be grateful for. Because the simple thing is this: look at that thing. It's so bad. Think about it. If it's 10 times worse, what is it going to be like? Then be grateful for that it is not that times. Do you understand? It's a simple way to flip it. It works every time. We come here and say all this and all. It's not like we don't have sometimes struggles. It's not like we don't have things we are still trying to work. But the mindset in dealing with it must be different. Visualization. We did this last week. And it's something you should do every morning. Visualize. We are talking about all these things we talk about. As I'm saying that, a day, when you saw the flyer, something played in your mind. There's no way you read it that you know. It's a way of programming too. What's a day like in a billionaire's mind? The way you billionaire. So you practice visualization. You imagine you generate. You understand? You might even do. So for me, there's some very small exercises I can do on the bed. Now, you understand? Just very few things. Because yesterday, what's up now? Videos, see videos, everybody doing it. Don't bother yourself about that. Just that for me, don't bother yourself about that. Just that for me, I'm 10 press up better today than yesterday. It's the consistency. These things, and I'm mentioning reading because I said clarity. I said 3 things: clarity, growth, and discipline. As time for scribbling, talk about the journal, your ideas. We also write to you have what time will other people will do. What time will other people will do? You write it here. So of course we write what other people will do, but we still also have to do. So you write everything. So like your to-do list comes here. One of the things we've been taught 1 hour, 50 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, it might be 1 hour. minutes, it might be 10 minutes, it might be 5 minutes to fit into the time you have. But what I would say that you don't stick to the 5 minutes. You know where you are going to. So your first ritual of the morning is the most important one. I've said it, for it sets the tone for the rest of the day. Because when you come out of that place, you are full of energy, full of confidence. You know that from when you move out of there, life now starts to happen to you. But because you already have what you want to do, even though you are dealing with those things, your confidence level is high that you probably will not react that way. Someone who wakes up late and is rushing to work and gets to work and then gets to work and then they start to ask, business will ask you questions. You need to make decisions. You probably won't make the best decisions. You probably will be irritable and you might snap at things compared to someone who woke up early in the morning and then went through a proper savers protocol. Routine beats willpower. Some have said 21 days, some say 30 days. Robin Sharma talked about the 66 days to form a permanent habit, because they know that even sometimes when you do the 21 days, all those ones, you form the habit, but after a while, sometimes you relapse. Talks about the 66 days to form a permanent habit. But in my usual way, I'll say, try a 30 days challenge. Today, make that decision. The next 30 days, I want to do this thing. The next 1 week. Let's break it down. Let's bring it 1 week. I want to commit to doing it for 1 week. And at the end of the week, you should get to 60. Do it, so that's a quarter, right? Yes. So you can just say weekly. Then at the end of 1 month, I've done this. Don't reward yourself by not doing it. The cheat day is the problem. Because that cheat day, you enjoy it so much, it reminds you of where you're coming from. So don't have cheat day. Be happy with yourself, and then let's go again. So, like I said, structure is very important. All we are talking about is structure. Because once you structure your money, your ability to structure the rest of your day actually comes to play. Because once the money is right, then you structure your day. You now start to say, what are the things that are important? We start to look, okay, for social media and all of that, let's have a time for it. We had, at the beginning of the year, we had this period of fasting. And then one of the things we're told is also fast from Instagram. And then by the end of, it was 1 week. By the end of 1 week, the 8th day, it was so strange for a lot of people to go to Instagram. And I told a friend, we were just talking, I said, having done this for 1 week, if Instagram was a problem, this is an opportunity for you to just, because when you are coming after 7 days, then have time blocks. You want to go and see what's going on. Instagram is not bad. It's not all bad. So you have, okay, so this is the time I'm going. So you structure your day around the things you want to do. And one of the things that is important is, what are those things you do that actually guarantees your success. So it's not about prioritizing what's on your schedule. I saw this one, I really like, I said that, but to schedule your priorities. That's it. So what are my priorities? What are the things that are in line with my goals? What are the things I want to achieve today? On Monday, I have to be at the office. I have board meeting. I have meeting with my leaders. That is there. What do I want to discuss in the meeting? Those things are there. After that meeting, the next important thing is the fact that I have to give a response on something else. So you might have 3 or 4 things that if you do that day, you are fine. Then you can now try to schedule other things around. Maybe something that helps for growth, something that helps to connect with family, friends, all those things are important. That's why we're only taking a few hours of your day. The rest of the day, you can do those things. We're not saying come and do life alone or in isolation. Yeah, so the next few slides now look at the things I've talked about generally. We'll start to look at a few things. So when you're scheduling things, I call them deep work. So what's the mechanics of deep work? And I've just talked about this. You have to have like focused work blocks, block of time. Those days when we're in school, in the university, when we're preparing for exams, you do that. You know that, okay, after class, maybe you finish class by 5. You know, when you get home, eat and all of that, you want to start reading from 7. Is that not what That's a block of time. They're like, okay, so in my day, because I want to start reading, apart from the reading in the morning is not enough. I still want to read something. So between this time and this time, a good number of us, our days are identical. At least there are some hours that are always free. Maybe the time you get back from work, or so you can actually have dedicated period to focus work. If you have a C-suite person, you're a business owner, you actually have to solve problems. You have to have block of times where you deal with problems. You hear a lot of these billionaires say that after 1 o'clock, they don't make any business decision again because they understand that for them, after 1 o'clock, the brain is not really working well. So they make sure all deep thinking happens before 1 o'clock. So you look at your day and find out what are the period you want to do. Then minimal meetings, especially in that period where you know that you are still sharp. Because the period that I had to actually help out with the administration of the business and all that, and I've not done that for a while. So one of the things my people know, managers, heads of departments, is that if you want to come and have a conversation with me, I'm at work before 8 o'clock. I have a meeting with all the staff. I said between 8:30 and 9:30. Please come to me. Let's have conversations. Because after 9:30, there are other things I do. You don't come to me at 1 o'clock and say, sir, I'll first listen. What's it about? Can you wait? We'll talk about it tomorrow. Or I listen and then go home and think about it. So you actually need to understand that. So also look at time carve out for yourself, for retreats, for quiet thinking, for thinking, because you do that in the morning, but you can also do that and other times in the day. And it doesn't have to be every day. Do you understand? It could be a period you say, I know someone that by the end of the month, Friday to Sunday is out. So he takes that as his personal retreat. 5, he checks out of the state or anywhere, goes somewhere, be by himself. He will review the entire month and then decide what are we doing in the new month. So you have to look at these things and then leverage technology. This is where you can actually, things that you can outsource to other people that work with you, please do that. You can also use technology to help you do that, because the idea is to focus on what matters, what's important, and every other thing is distraction. In some business conversation, they call it noise. Sometimes most